Good evening. I know I'm on here a little early, but I wanted to get my equipment arranged and get kind of a head start on things before they didn't work, okay? So I'm looking at you in my phone, and I'm going to turn around just to make sure that I'm not scaring you away on my notebook back here. So bear with me just a minute. That's why I came on early, because I wanted to make sure everything was ready. Plus you get to see the back of my hair. I do go get a haircut tomorrow. So why is it the day before you're supposed to get a haircut, your hair looks pretty kind of decent? So that's very interesting how the view looks a little different on my phone than when I go to my computer. There's a little bit of a delay. But anyway, it looks like everything is going well. So, like I said, I'm on here a little early. I'm not sure what time it is. It's almost 8 o'clock in just another minute or so. So, I think we're ready to go. And then, for those of you that have done live videos before, there's lots of things involved, but all in all, it's fun to do it. So you can see I have a window here up in my studio, and I am facing the west. I always have to stop and think. So we may see, you probably won't see the sunset because it's cloudy here today. It's been raining most of the day, but at least right now, it's probably been about the lightest it's been all day. It has actually misted here all day, off and on. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm checking my watch, and I think it's 8 o'clock. So I would like to welcome you to the Tweet Be Happy Live by Darla Tweeten. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the state of Iowa. And I come to you every other week on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time now. So one of the things that I want to visit with you about tonight is a June special that Stampin' Up! Has going on. What it is there are over 20-some suites that Stampin' Up! Has, both in their annual catalog, and also they have additional products on online exclusive, which means you cannot find it in any catalog. It's only online. Now, the good thing about it is if you go online, you can see all of our products. You can see the products that are in the catalogs. You can see the kits. You can see the scrapbooking kits. You can see the online exclusives. So what I wanted to tell you was that right now they are having a BOGO 50% off sale. So what that means, and the letters are B as in boy, O as in orange, girl, orange. So what that is that you buy one and you get one 50% off. So I want to caution you about this, that in order for you to get your best 50% off, you may need to place several orders, because whatever you have on your order, whatever the lowest priced item is, that's what you're going to get at 50%. So that's why I'm telling you, place place as many orders as you need to place. Obviously, you're going to have to pay shipping on each one of those orders, but if you order $37, the shipping is less, okay? I don't know if you knew that or not. But anyway, so on this BOGO 50% off promotion that goes the month of June, I would highly recommend you to be very strategic in placing your orders. If there are 2 suites that you want, and they're in the anywhere from, $80 to a little over $100, only order those 2 suites on one order. Then that way you'll get the first suite at the regular price, and then the second suite you would get at 50% off. Now, if you don't do it that way and you decide, oh, I would like to throw in, a package of designer series paper from another suite, you can do that. You sure can. But I don't think you're going to be very happy with the results, because you will get 50% off the designer series paper because it's the lowest priced item in your order. Okay. Now, if you have any questions when you're getting ready to place your online orders, please ask me, or you can always call demo support if you have any questions. Now, this will be especially fun and exciting for those of you guys that are demonstrators, that we just got some new online exclusives available today, June 3rd, and they will be available. That's a perk of being a demonstrator, that we get to order the products 30 days ahead of our customers. That gives us a chance to not only get the product, but it also gives us an opportunity to do some creating with those products before we show them to our customers. So if you are a demonstrator and you've gone online to see the new July exclusives, you are going to see that they are very pretty. There's even a tractor stamp set coming out, you guys, in July. I'm so excited. Plus there's Halloween, there's Christmas, there's fall. They have done a very good job of wanting us to spend our money on Stampin' Up! Products. So there, thank you, Kim, for joining me. I see you're on here. And hi, Carrie. Hi, monkeys. And so getting back to, if you're a demonstrator, and I sent you guys all a link to just show you how to get to those online exclusives today for the pre-order. Now, if you find 2 suites in there that you want to order, only place those 2 suites on your first order, because then that way you will pay the regular price for the first suite, and then the second suite you will get that at 50% off, which is a nice savings. Now, remember, only put those 2 suites on your order. Do not order anything else, because if you did decide like to order a package of designer series paper or whatever, they would take 50% off of that item because it's the lesser amount. So I think I've explained that enough now, that I'm not going to, give any more examples. But believe me, if you have any questions whatsoever when you go to place an order for this promotion that's going on right now, which is the BOGO 50% off item, which means buy 1 suite. It has to be a part of a suite now. It can't be like a bundle that's not part of a suite. It has to be part of a suite. So you can buy that one at regular price, and then when you purchase your second suite, you will get that at 50% off. Now you can also, on your next order, if you want to place another order for something else, it will continue on as long as you're ordering products from different suites. So it does sound a little bit confusing right now, but I think if you think about it, put it to pencil and whatever and figure it out, I think you'll do really well. So there again, for those of you just joining, this is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. And I think I've rolled closer to my phone as I've been talking, so I apologize for how large my face was. But I do want you to enjoy the sunset out here. It's not real colorful tonight. We are experiencing some of the smoke from Canada, I believe, today. But when we woke up this morning, we had about an inch of rain, and we really needed rain here. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera down so that you can see what we're going to make tonight. I told my oldest grandson that we were going to be making boats tonight. And he looked at me like, boats? How do you make boats? And I said, with stamps and die cuts. So let me go ahead and change the camera view. So you'll see all of my beautiful colors there. And then I will rotate the camera up just a little bit so that you can see my work surface. I have to adjust my arm just a little bit on my Akron stand because I folded it down just a little bit so that you could see my face. So let's see how that is right there. I need to tip this up just a little bit more here because I want it level. So there, I think I got it. So, okay. So here is the stamp set that we're going to be playing with tonight. It's called the Sunrise Sailing. So even though we're looking at a sunset right now, we are doing a sunrise. I'm trying to still just play with my camera here. I'm not real happy with it yet, but I think Darla just needs to leave it alone. Okay. So there is my work surface. You can see the stamp set that we're going to be messing with. And this is an online exclusive. It is called the Sunrise Sailing. I'm trying to get that glare off of there. You'll see my light, my ring light up there. That's what the circle is on here. But so this is it's a Sunrise Sailing bundle that has a hybrid folder with it, and it has the die cuts. And I just realized that I left the hybrid folder downstairs because I wanted to save time, and I pre-cut some things first. So, like for example, one of the things, Colt, it cuts out is this nice little sailboat here. And see how it's kind of 3D. So that's one of the sailboats it cuts out. It also, while it's in the embossing folder, it does this beautiful work to your piece of white cardstock. Can you see that on there? There, you can kind of see it. See how it's got the clouds there? It's got the sailboat in the water. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll be working with that. And then also some other little things that it cuts out, little tiny sailboats. These are like sailboats for Jameson, aren't they? Look how tiny they are. And then here's one for Barrett then, a middle-sized one. And then obviously it's got I call them, they're called sails, I guess. Then you glue that onto the sailboats. But isn't that just cute? So those are what the die cuts do that come with this bundle. This bundle is, let's see here, it's $50.25. So you'd get the stamp, the photopolymer stamp set with one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sentiments on it. Their congratulations, you deserve the best, happy retirement, best wishes. You're destined for great things. I love that one. And it's an up and down one, so that would be a great center. And like I said, this is photopolymer. So let's go ahead and get started with our projects tonight that I have for you. The first card we're going to do is this card right here. It's made out of mossy meadow cardstock. And the DSP I'm using tonight is the Thoughtful Journey 6x6. It is on last chance right now. So the normal price is $11.50, but right now it's marked down to $6.90. So it's called Thoughtful Journey. And the number is 163303. It is quite a beautiful landscape DSP. It does all the work for you. You can see the card that we're going to do. It's got a different scene on it. And I have cut the paper down to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And what I wanted to show you was, I thought I wanted to use the Mossy Meadow cardstock on this, but wait a minute. Look at the Misty Moonlight. Whoa. Which one do you like better? The Misty Moonlight or the Mossy Meadow? I'm going to go with the Misty Moonlight. That's the one thing about when you're creating cards. And I'm going to go ahead and put this Mossy Meadow piece of cardstock right back in my file folders that I have off to the left here, so that all of my cardstock stays organized. So we have decided to use the Misty Moonlight tonight with this. It does have a little bit of Mossy Meadow in it. Not as much as this over here did, my first card. See how the grass had a lot of Mossy Meadow in it? So we are going to go ahead and we're going to take our silicone mat and we will flip that over. Now you could also use this side too. You could use the top. Imagine, now remember, we're doing a boat. So remember that as you are going to be decorating this card, you kind of have to remember, ooh, was it kind of like a real sunset up there? Or was it more stormy-like, so we have that at the top? Or was it just a nice, pleasant day, like today, that's a little overcast, and there's just this little sailboat floating down the river or the lake? This is the side that we're going to use. So I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to grab my silicone mat. Even though I am working on my glass mat, I still like to have my silicone mat here to start my adhesive. So what I do is, if you notice, I just kind of run it on the adhesive, or on the silicone mat, run 2 strips of adhesive onto the back of the DSP, and then you just place it on in the center of your card. Now tonight I am using casing layout idea number 515. So those of you that wonder where I get my inspiration, I don't come up with them on my own. I get them from other people that have done the creative part for us by showing us a sketch. And then I go in, and like today, I knew I wanted to use this sunrise sailing stamp set. And you know, I've had it since I went to Raleigh. I pre-ordered it then, so I thought, dang, Darla, you've got to get that stamp set inked up. So that'll be our card base and our second layer. And now let's find these two little sailboats that I told you that I die cut in advance. And you do need to be very, very careful with these because they are very fragile. I dug into my garbage can and I found a little bit of scrap paper here that we're gonna do some sponging on these little boats here. And those of you that know me know that I don't have any nails, so oftentimes I will use this take your pick tool as my fingernails. So what we're going to do here is, I believe I'm going to stick with Misty Moonlight again. So I will pull out my Misty Moonlight ink pad, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to set it down here off to my right hand side since I'm right-handed. Now this is a sponge brush. We do sell these in my store too. They come in sets of 3, and I have lots of fun with them. But a word of warning: when you first start using these, you want to rub the dark part off on a piece of scratch paper, and then start coloring your boat, for example. Okay. So there again, you just rub it into your ink pad and take the blob off of it, and then color your sails however lighter or darker you want them to be. It's your world. You're the one creating tonight or today with this stamp set, so you can do however you want. So let's see if I have enough ink left on this brush to do this big sail. I think I'll have enough. I just want to kind of, if you think about it, a sail on a sailboat is pretty much white, isn't it? It's not a dark blue, so we don't want it too dark. So the next step will be to take, away this sponge, this piece of scratch paper, and what we're going to want to do next is we're going to put the sails onto our sailboats. So we'll want to flip this one over, and then we'll want to flip this one over. Now, I'm going to want to put the glue on the bigger sail. And if the adhesive runs over to the side, just fold it over and then put it on your little boat. Something like that. Isn't that cute? Okay. Oops. So then the same thing with this one. I just want to make sure that I'm gluing the right side, because it will give you a 3D effect. So then you put this down on this one right here, but make sure all of your adhesive is tucked under your piece of paper there. Okay. So those of you, I know I've been on a sailboat. I've never driven one, but I have been on a sailboat, and I know that it has, or I imagine it having a hardwood floor like on the deck. Okay, so what we're just gonna add, I'm pulling out my scrap again here. I'm kneading my nails to do that, so I'll put these boats back up here, and then I'm just gonna lightly color the boat part of our sailboat. You can give it different colors if you want to. And then remember that there's a pole that goes up. So color that pole to brown. And then color the little knob up at the top. And just kind of give it some dimension. So that's what I did just with a blender right there. So our boats are ready to be put on the DSP now. So we'll put those up there. And those of you that are just joining me, this is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. So this is our card again, and we will be putting our boats something like, oh my goodness, something like this onto our little pretty scene that we have here. And we do want to remember to create the visual of it. You know how the boat in front is usually bigger than the one behind. So you're going to want to space them a little bit like that. For the birds in this, I'm going to be using the new In Color Secret Sea. It is my new gray black right now. So there are these cute little birds, and when you stamp birds or when you stamp anything, do it in odd numbers, okay? Well, there's a bird that's going to be coming really close to this boat. So right away, get your chamois and wipe off your stamp. So in case you use a different color, it's ready to go. And close, and I'm going to go ahead and be a little risky tonight. And you can see on my original one, I did die cut a little bit of water and I stamped on that. Well, we're going to be a little risky tonight. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to stamp right onto our card. Something like that. Congratulations. What do you think of that? We have lots of events coming up in the next couple of months. So I'm going to need lots of congratulations cards. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our dimensionals. And remember the trick I showed you last time we were on here? That I went ahead and just took a blender a blender brush and painted all of my dimensionals so I would know whether or not I had the backs off of the dimensions. So we're going to use these again tonight. So we will put a dimensional right there and a dimensional right there. Now you're going to want to use some more towards the top so that your boat has depth to it. So I'm using some mini dimensionals, and boy, are these mini. So we've got that one done. Let's go ahead and we will do mini dimensionals on the junior sailboat. Something like this. I'm getting this mini dimensionals. I don't use them very often. So this pack has lasted me, for a long time. And I believe it's partially because my fingers are so big, they're hard to grab. Now, I do want to point out, do you see how there's this little area right here that really can use a dimensional? Well, don't be afraid to cut a dimensional in half, or when you get along the edge of your dimensionals, you can just cut a little strip out. And so that will fit perfectly in this little area right there, except you need to get it on straight. So I did not push it down, so that time I was able to move it just a little bit. Now, I know I'm on camera right now, and I know it'll be a challenge if I get these little dimensionals put on the actual little base of the boat. I did that one. Let's see if we can do another one on the big one. And it probably should have a couple more on there. Since they're kind of the feature of the card, we've got to make sure that they're looking as good as possible. So we'll go ahead and we'll do 3 dimensionals on this bigger boat. Okay. And there again, if you don't press down real hard, you can move it just a little bit with your take your pick tool. So let's remove the backings on these dimensionals and be very, very careful, because the little piece that's connecting the 2 pieces is very thin. And if you noticed, having those dimensionals colored really helped me pick those off, didn't it? I did not do it to the mini ones, so here's a backing here that needs to be removed. So I know that they're all off now. I'm going to wait and do that little guy in just a minute. So let's bring our card back in, and we are going to put this sailboat right here. And I would recommend doing the boat first and then doing the sails next, just simply because the boat is I can't remember for sure what color I used, but it looks like I missed a corner of this boat over here. And now I'm gonna, since I'm coloring it again, it's a little darker, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just make it look like a pretty wood floor. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the backs off of these little tiny mini adhesives. And it may look like there's a lot too many on here, but it's going to be so worth it when it sits up nice and even on your card. Tonight I am demonstrating the Sunrise Sailing bundle, which is an online exclusive. And this just says summer. Shout summer. So there again, put the boat on first to make sure that's straight, and then put your little sail on. What do you guys think? Isn't that darling? So we didn't do hardly anything to create this card. What we did was we took the Misty Moonlight card base, and hello Dolores, good evening. And then we trimmed the DSP, which is the Thoughtful Journey. We trimmed that to 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then we die cut the medium and the small sailboat out of the Sunrise Sailing bundle, and then stamp congratulations, and you have a card. Now let's take this one step further. When you do a card, you do need to prepare an inside for the card, for a greeting. So remember I told you that I like this, you're destined for great things. Let's stamp that inside of this card. So we will pull the sentiment out of this stamp set, pull out the drawer here with the blocks on it, and I think I have one that'll be just the right size. I haven't been stamping for a real long time, but I have discovered that it's better to have a block that fits the sentiment or your image almost well. If it's too big, I have a tendency to rock my stamp, and then I will get a shadow. So let's go ahead and use the Secret C again, and I have not used this stamp set yet. So what I always like to do is do a test. So pull out the scratch paper again and do a test a few times with the Secret C, and that looks good, doesn't it? So then go back to your card, your inside card that you have here, and you can I like to stamp. Sometimes I don't always stamp right in the center of my card. I may stamp off to the edge, and that's what I'm going to choose tonight to do. You are destined for great things. So I'm going to reach over to my chamois. I'm going to wash that off. And because I love these little seagulls, let's just put a few of those in there. And I believe I'm just going to do 2. I think that looks great. So we will remove this and bring back our chamois or our silicone. Flip this over and put adhesive on the back of this. And then our great congratulations card is ready to be sent or taken to the celebration that you're going to. So my insides of my cards sometimes are different sizes. I use, you know, the pieces that I have in my white cardstock. And I'm not really sure what I just did there. I don't know if I smudged that or not. I can't tell. It doesn't look like I have any ink on. But anyway, that is card number 1. And we did say congratulations. Now, it could say, you know, you could do happy retirement, or you can do best wishes, or you could do you deserve the best. But you could still use on the inside, you're destined for great things. So that is a card there that we've done. And we cannot forget to do the embellishments here. So let's take your pick tool, and let's go with the Secret C little gems here. It just finishes off a card. Some people prefer not to put embellishments on their cards. I always like to do it. Sometimes if it's for a man and I want to keep it ultra conservative, I may not put embellishments on there. So there we are. What I'm using for embellishments tonight is the 2025-2027 in color flat pearls. So we've made 1 card so far. I have just a couple more that I want to show you tonight. I'm really liking the new in color Secret C. So this is a Secret C card base that we're using, and I am taking a piece of the DSP from the front, and I will decorate the inside of the white panel of this. I am not going to stamp it right now because I'm not really sure what I would like to put inside of it. I would like to do what we just did previously, but I'm not sure what I'm going to use with this card yet. So what we're going to do here is, this is another piece of that Thoughtful Journey DSP, and it's cut the same measurement, the 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and you can use either side. I don't like that blue side right there as well as I like this side. So hi Cindy, how are you tonight? I hope you're getting this nice rain like we are. We had 1 inch this morning. I'm not sure how much we've gotten today, but we really needed the rain. I am using the Sunrise Sailing Bundle tonight to get some cards ready for various celebrations that we're going to be going to. We have weddings coming up. We have confirmation. We have you know, a couple of retirement parties, just lots of things going on. Now this is one of the sailboats that I did die cut out earlier today to save time. And we are again going to use, I'm going to go back to the Misty Moonlight. I didn't practice the Secret Sea on there. I'm not sure how dark that would be. And on camera, I'm going to kind of play it safe and go with the sure method that I've been using. Now, this, you can just leave this white if you would like, but I like to sponge. I love color, and I know as I look at sailboats, like I said earlier, their sails are white or off-white, but after they get used, they kind of turn a color, don't they? Let's do some Winkostella. Let's bring this Winkostella out, and let's just put some highlights in this sail tonight here. It's misting here in Iowa, and so everything is really wet. I don't know if I would be out on a lake or a river tonight, but if I was with somebody that wanted to go fishing, I might throw on a raincoat. I might grab an umbrella, and I might say, sure, let's go for an adventure. Always be up to doing something fun. I don't know how protective these sails are, but I bet you do find some protection in them. Maybe you don't. I've only seen sailboats on Netflix movies and Hallmarks, and it looks like there should be some protection in there. So anyway, this is our sailboat that we have here. You can break the fibers down a little bit if you'd like to, but that's basically what we're going to do on this card tonight. We are going to put dimensionals on it and raise it up some. I'm trying to decide just where I would like that at. Keep in mind that you're going to want to add a sentiment. So you need to remember, to leave space for that. And luckily, the sentiments in this stamp set, they're all one-liners, so you don't have to leave a lot of room. So let's go ahead and decide where we want this. I have I think the color I used here was this Timid Tiger. Who likes Timid Tiger? I really like that in color. I'm going to just kind of, you know how sometimes water reflects, different colors and stuff? I'm just going to put a little bit of Timid Tiger onto that, and that will add a little kind of, oh, look at you guys. It brought in the sky, didn't it? So with that being said, I'm still going to kind of like make it look like it's getting ready to dock up on the land here. So I'm going to put it closer to the bottom. And I don't know if you noticed this, Cindy, or not, but I saw on a demonstrator, I wish I could remember who it was, but they colored the backs of their adhesives so that when they go to take them off, it's easier to tell if there is, if they've gotten all the backings off or not. So let's go ahead and put this sailboat about right here. Actually, it's kind of almost on land already, isn't it? And then just gently push it down. This is pretty fragile. This die cut, not as fragile as those other little ones were, but I want to also color the pole up here. You know how there's a pole that runs. I don't know, maybe it should be painted all the way up now that I'm looking at it. I'm not going to. I will do some more research before I do that part. Can't get my blend in there. Okay, so this card is basically almost ready to go. And we do have a retirement party coming up. And so I am going to take the Secret C. And tonight, for some reason, I'm liking just stamping my sentiment right on to the DSP. And if you get it straight, boy, you're very, 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 very fortunate, aren't you? So, oh, look at here. I just wiped off my happy retirement, and I saw some birds laying in my bird stamp had fallen off onto my chamois. Do you guys ever have that happen? And had I not seen it sitting there, I don't know if I would have remembered to put some birds on here. And this one is kind of landing down into the water. It wants to get a drink. So that is our second card. Boy, you guys, I can tell that this little bird is going to be, I'm going to have to make sure that I keep really good track of that, because either that or maybe my chamois is too wet. I'm not sure, but it fell off again when I was cleaning it. So that is our second card that we are going to do tonight with the sunrise sailing. And that would be a very appropriate retirement card. Excuse me, if you wanted to put some money in it or whatever, you could put a little money holder over in that side. I'm going to just show you another example that I wanted to share with you. This, obviously, this white would go on the inside, but what I wanted to show you was there is just a large sailboat stamp too. Isn't that beautiful? So what I thought we could do, rather than doing a die cut, we could, just adhere this on to our water. And obviously, before you did that, you might want to just add some color to it. I need to add color. I don't know if the rest of you would add color or not. I put some labels on my new in color ink pads, and for some reason I think I bury those adhesives, and then the next time I know, I pull something out of the garbage to use, and darn it, those little sticker things are right there again. So I'm not sure. Of course, there's 5 of them, so they can multiply fast, I'm sure. So what we would do on this one, we would do the same thing, except this time I'm not going to put dimensionals on it. I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it to, I'm not sure if there other demos that have been having trouble with their adhesives. I know I'm heavy-handed, but I've had trouble with several of them, like almost popping like. So you can see here, it looks like this is like a little, what do you call those, where you kind of go out into, the ocean from like, it's not a port, I can't think what it's called, but it's like a little private little lagoon that you have here, and then you go out there. Isn't that what that looks like? So that card I will finish in a little bit. What I wanted to share with you was I am using the negative of the sailboat that I popped out. Can you see how it's embossed? And what I did was I just put dimensionals on the negative and put it on the Misty Moonlight cardstock. I did take the 2 sponge brushes and I sponged Timid Tiger and Secret C on the embossed areas. Didn't that turn out nice? And what I wanted to do was then to cover up this part right here, I wanted to take a little little piece of cardstock, type a sentiment there again or ink up a sentiment. We're going to use the congratulations again. I can never have enough congratulations cards, whether it just be a quick card that you send to someone after you read about them in the newspaper. That is always a joy to be able to have cards on hand to do that. So we will go ahead and do that congratulations on there. I like to do a banner on one end, which would be, you know, something like this. You take your scissors about halfway down, and then you cut like this, and you make a banner. So I need to throw this away. So this one is probably a little bit too long for me. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, which is right here. And I am going to cut that just a little bit. You probably can't see me. I'm probably off the camera right now. But if I do cut that, it's going to affect my banner. So I'm not going to cut it because it would make my banner unlevel. So what I'm going to do here is I will put dimensionals on there. Not really sure how it's going to still look like a boat. Yep, it will. It will work because I'm going to put it up above the boat part of it. So go ahead and put your dimensionals on here. Take off your backing. And there again, I like to break down the fiber in the cardstock to make it look like it's well loved or it's an aged card. If you want to, you could sponge a little bit of the Misty Moonlight on there. And then remember this is a negative, and I'm wanting to hide this area right here, but I'm wanting it to still look like a boat or a. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to put it level like that. And there, voila, we did it. We did it. So this is congratulations. You could stamp a few birds on here if you'd like. But basically, this card is done. This would have been just a wasted piece of paper otherwise. You could put a card, you know, put a piece of white cardstock in the center and finish that card off. The last card that I wanted to show you tonight was this card. It's made with Mossy Meadow. There again, the inside, you could use a strip of the DSP to, you know, finish that off. But what I wanted to show you was another method to using that large sailboat. You could stamp it right on to the DSP. We have not done that yet. And also, this DSP is the same size, but I did cut the white cardstock just 1/4 of an inch bigger so that I would have another layer on this card. So what we'll do is we will put the Thoughtful Journey DSP onto the white. And I did take a little bit of Wink of Stella on the sails of this, and I did stamp Happy Retirement again. Now, if you'd like, you could pop up this card layer, but there again, I'm trying to keep things simple, and I'm trying to, you know, do several cards efficiently, and I think I've done it. So this is let's see. The first card we made tonight was this one right here with the die cut sailboats, the junior and the medium sailboats die cut out. And I used the two different I used Mossy Meadow and I used Misty Moonlight. The next card we did, I believe, was this card right here. We used the Secret Sea cardstock. I love that color. And we had die cut one of the boats out. We sponged that with a couple of different colors. Then another card that we did, but I did not finish, was stamping out the boat and adhering that to the DSP. That was another sample we did. So let's move this magnetic bowl here. Another sample I did was using the negative of the sailboat. I cannot tell you how beautiful this embossing, this hybrid embossing folder is. I highly recommend, if you're a boating person, a water person, I highly recommend this Sunrise Sailing Bundle. It is number 165497, and it's $50.25. And remember, with our rewards programs now, you will get $5 that you can spend on another purchase in the future. And then our final card is this card, and I'm not really sure. You know, you hate to have favorites, but I really like the white trimmed out on this card. I really like that. And then it's saying happy retirement. So this is, it's been fun being with you tonight. I appreciate the time that you have given up to watch me create these beautiful cards. Remember, I do give classes in my home. They're always the third Friday of each month. And if for some reason you cannot attend my class in person, I do mail out kits. So we will need to talk to make special arrangements on that if you pick them up, or if I mail them through the postage. This is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Iowa. I have a Facebook page called tweetbehappy. I post there every day different things. It's not necessarily about cards that I may post. I post about my life in general, as far as I live on a farm, and we have some beautiful crops right now. We have some beautiful flowers. Actually, it's pretty lush right now. We've been mowing the yard about every week, and then you got to do weed eating and all of that. And I love to share what I'm doing so that you guys, get to know me a little bit more. So this is June 3rd. Our next live will be on June 17th at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, Central Daylight Time. So mark your calendar for that. And I do have a virtual retreat that I am participating in with 6 other demonstrators. That's being held next weekend, the 13th and 14th of June. And registration for this virtual retreat has been shut off for some time, but I continue to talk about it because I want to build interest in our next retreat that we have. We haven't started planning it yet. We don't know what we're doing or anything yet, but I do want you to know that I am part of an accountability group with 6 other demonstrators spread out all over the United States. So we have 4 time zones that we work with. So there again, this is an accountability group. It's something that Stampin' Up! Provides its demonstrators. They are very strong in education and, making us feel comfortable with our crafting, with our Stampin' Up!, making sure that we, have the information that we need. But the best part of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is the friendships that I have made. Like the couple of gals listening tonight, I've met them through Stampin' Up! And you just become real good friends. You look for each other at the different events, or you watch each other's Facebook lives. We are a team. We all promote one another, which is just something magnificent that Stampin' Up! wants us to be a part of. We want to make sure that you are seen and that you're heard, and that no one is left alone. There is always room for one more. Always room for one more at my class or whatever it may be. So I'm going to call it a night for this Sunrise Sailing bundle. I have thoroughly enjoyed sharing these cards with you. And if you get this bundle, or maybe you already have this bundle, and if you make some cards yourself, please share them on my Tweet Be Happy page. I would love to see other inspiration from other stampers. So right now, God bless, and see you next time.